The parking lot attendant booth was small, cramped, and positioned at the entrance of the Heritage Tower garage. It was 8:47 a.m. on a Tuesday when the black Mercedes pulled up aggressively, tires squealing against the concrete. Richard Ashford stepped out, already shouting at Victoria, the attendant behind the window. "This spot is reserved for executives," Richard snapped. "Not for people like you to use as office space. Move whatever junk you have here." Victoria, calm and professional, looked up from her desk. "Sir, this is the attendant station. I'm required to be here during work hours." "I don't care what you're required to do," Richard continued, his voice sharp and cutting. "I pay premium rates for premium service, and what I see is incompetence. My car was parked here yesterday for 6 minutes while you were chatting with someone." 6 minutes. Do you understand how valuable my time is? "I apologize if there was an inconvenience," Victoria began. "Apologize?" Richard interrupted. "Apologies don't pay my bills." "You know what? I'm calling your manager." "Victoria, you're clearly not qualified for this position. You should be ashamed taking a job you can't handle." Richard walked away, leaving his insult hanging in the air like a bad smell. Victoria said nothing. She simply made a note in her log and returned to her work. At 2:15 p.m., Richard Ashford returned to his car, still fuming about something else entirely. His phone had been buzzing all morning with bad news. His business deal had fallen through. His latest venture was tanking. Everything he'd built was crumbling, and he had no one to blame but himself, though he certainly tried. He found Victoria waiting by his car. "Richard, I have something you need to see," Victoria said quietly. "I don't have time for whatever this is, Victoria," he snapped. "Just open the gate." "It will take 30 seconds, Victoria replied. She handed him a tablet. On the screen was a video. Security footage from the parking garage, but not from today. From 3 weeks ago. It showed Richard's car being towed by another vehicle, his expensive Mercedes dragged across the parking lot by chains while he wasn't looking. Then the screen showed him, clearly Richard, returning to find his car gone, panicking, calling the police, making accusations. But that's not what had happened. The video showed the truth. Richard's car had been moved by Victoria herself to make room for an ambulance. A woman in the building above had gone into early labor. The ambulance needed emergency access through the garage. Victoria had moved Richard's car to the side carefully without damage. She'd documented everything. She'd moved it back within 20 minutes. The police report Richard had filed? Dismissed when the building's security manager explained the situation. "You filed a complaint against me for moving your car to let a pregnant woman get emergency medical care," Victoria said quietly. "That complaint is still in my personnel file. It affects my annual review. It affects my credibility." Richard's face went pale. "But that's not the important part," Victoria continued. She pulled up another document on the tablet. "This is a letter from Dr. Patricia Morrison. She's the woman who needed the ambulance that day. Dr. Patricia Morrison gave birth to twins, healthy twins. Both mother and baby survived because that ambulance got through quickly." Victoria looked directly at Richard. "You humiliated me this morning because my job, the job you consider beneath you, wasn't perfect enough for your standards. But my job, Richard, the one you find so contemptible, literally saved 3 lives. So I'm wondering whose time is more valuable, whose work matters more." Richard opened his mouth, but nothing came out. "You can call my manager if you'd like," Victoria said. "But I'd suggest you withdraw your complaint first, Richard, and perhaps consider that the people you dismiss might be doing more good in this world than you ever will." Victoria walked back to her booth. Richard Ashford stood alone in the parking lot, holding the tablet, finally understanding the difference between having money and having worth.